Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a first in the grid history, and also in Mettlestate history, and in RaceFace history, and also in MTN's venture being fueling the entire series. We've got an encore round. We're gonna have the final bow to this. And joining me, he's going to be in the box, but we're going to be listening in through the in-car radio, and that is Yanneman Press. Yanneman, you're out on the circuit. We're going to have a bit of fun, but we've got a few surprises. We're not going to lean on to the surprise just as yet, though, but come in and say hi.
Good evening, Stephen. Good evening, everybody. Yes, you said it. The grid is, what shall I say, a little bit nostalgic tonight. It takes me back to when I first started sim racing.
So let's take a look at the track. For anyone that doesn't know the Encore, this is a non-championship round for the Grid Championship, as we have concluded that. But this is a fun round. This is for amazing times. This is to really go and challenge things out. The usual, break the norms and stretch the boundaries of what we got to know in the world of esports. Taking a look over to the grandstands. Big welcome to you guys, both over at twitch.tv/Mettlestate and also at RaceFace. Welcome to the Grid Championship Season 4 Encore round, fueled by MTN. Let's take a look at the track that we're going to be going around, and that is the beautiful circuit of Monza. Back to the Temple of Speed. Yanneman, your thoughts on this?
Well, Stephen, this is one of my favorite tracks, and very, very high-speed track. It can be technical, can be a bit deceiving, because, it's not just flat out. There's a lot of braking involved. It's actually also one of the hardest braking tracks on the calendar, and definitely a circuit where you're going to need good brakes.
Now, definitely going to be an interesting one, but now for anyone that's been watching the Grid Championship, I went and relayed a little bit of a challenge to our drivers, saying, hey, let's go and see what you guys can do. And we stuck out a challenge which got supported in the world of the chats. We had Larissa jumping in, we had Tenix jumping in, all going and jumping aboard the challenge. And we're going to look in car. Yanneman, we're going to look at your car specifically. This interior looks a little bit different. I can see a little bit of an L. And looking at the timing tower, guess what, folks? Welcome to the Grid Championship Encore round, where the challenge was put out to every single driver. Take one of the older cars that are never used anymore. Yanneman, you're in the Lexus, but your competition tonight, while we listen to that beautiful Lexus sing along and go for it, we've got a few different cars out there, namely a really interesting one being, let's go through. Let's see, Ulrich Sickers, he's in the usual Ferrari 296. He's done well in second place. Martin Rotenbach in the Porsche 992. Ryan Ottens jumping into the Lexus. Alan Patterson in the BMW M6. Last it's ever seen the racetrack was prior 2022. The Lexus also the same, prior 2022. It was the last time it was featured. Then we have got Vessel Wooder, who's out on the circuit. Please bear in mind, that you will also see some names that you haven't seen in the Grid Championship Pro Division, because we've got our Pro-Am and Gold all out on the circuit. So we have got everyone that has participated out there. We've also got some very interesting cars. The Nissan GTR, the original Godzilla, making its return to the circuit. We have got in 9th place the big Boatley out on track. Guys having a bit of fun. And yes, this was actually requested by a couple of guys out over in the grandstands, that SES has jumped into the Jag.
The Jag.
So the challenge was put out. The drivers have all come to this. Gentlemen, we're going to leave you to do your qualifying while we just chat about this. So we'll chat to you after quali.
Okay, chat to you a bit later.
So we're going to leave Yadaman out of the discussion for this one, because we're going to settle down. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the Encore round. This is an absolutely amazing, amazing feat. And for the drivers to go and take up the challenge, not only switching out their cars that they've raced this season, but also to go the one step further of having the older cars coming back in, something that they don't get to race too often, coming in and having a bit of fun out here. So good to see. And I'd like to know from you guys what you would love to see. What are the cars that you're going to be looking out for? The ones that struck your fancy as we watch the qualifying. Now, bear in mind, the older cars are not as quick as the newer cars. They haven't been updated in a fair amount of time. So we've got quite a few out here. Pick your favorites. Enjoy it, because we've got a whole lot of fun to talk about this evening. And a little bit of a challenge that's also gone out, other than challenging our drivers to have the older vehicles. We've also gone and asked them to have a bit of fun. And we're going to be seeing who's going to be the faster in the Historics class, or like what I prefer to call it, the Hysterics class. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get ready to have a bit of fun. BMW M6s, BMW M4s, both hitting the circuit at the same time, which has never been in the history of RaceFace, because it was just always that thing. So we have finally going and making a bit of a change this evening. We're swapping it out. We're taking the norm and we're throwing it out the door to have a bit of fun, with a few surprises as well. Ryan Ottens in 2nd place with the Lexus, only 0.4 of a second behind the 992 Porsche that has come out this year. So Lexus that came out in 2016 is keeping up to our 2nd place. Martin Rotenbach out there for KSR Fast. Then we got Harry Van Zyl, Voncourse Motorsport. Good to see Van Zyl having a bit of fun. Name that we don't really get to run into. We have got Pieterse, who's out on the circuits as well. Conrad Martin, for anyone that doesn't know who Conrad Martin is, he raced in the AM division. And this is how it's going. Inoxia going and saying, would love to be in the GTR all season long. Well, this is what this is. To get the guys having a bit of fun. Daniel De Villiers in his original GTR. Now, the Hitman started out in the Nissan GTR and got his nickname from the Nissan GTR. So he's returned back to the waters to have a bit of fun out there. Good to see it there. Henrik Sichers out in 9th place. Alan Patterson down into 11th as the times start flooding in. Martin Rotenbach. Tiernas Buerta, he's out in the McLaren Evo, having a bit of fun out there. Ryan Ottens in 3rd. Gerry Van Zyl in 4th place. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Grid Championship Season 4 Encore round, fueled by MTN, and being the first Encore round in history of the Grid Championship, which is absolutely exciting. And the first time in Grid history that we're having the old versus the new. Now, we're going to have a bit of fun with this. Everyone in the spectators are going to get to know this, because not even the drivers are aware of it. We're going to have a little bit of a special moment. So, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about 1st, 2nd, and 3rd winners from our modern cars and our historic class. You heard me right. We're going to be having 2 winners. Now, this is for fun. This is in the spirit of an encore. This is the spirit of putting on a show. So we are going to do something that only the drivers will get to hear if they're watching the stream. So the first people to ever hear about this is you guys, the spectators out there on the grandstands at Mettlestate and at RaceFace. We're going to have a bit of fun tonight. It's an encore, and like every encore, you always have the hype. So I want to see the flames. I want to see the parties. I want to see the strong arms. I want to see everyone going mad for their support, for the cars that they love, the drivers that they have followed through the season. From the pro division that we have live streamed all 8 of their rounds over at twitch.tv/Mettlestate and over at RaceFace.Pro for the Grid Championship fueled by MTN. But we're also going to be having our historics, our hysterics class, as I like to call them, the guys that have gone and took up the challenge that the only way they heard about it was watching the stream. So, you heard it first. Right here, we're going to announce who's the best in the old versus the new, and the drivers have got their work cut out for them. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Grid Championship. Good to have you here. Out in first place, Jaco Kutza in the McLaren, the brand new 720S, having a huge amount of fun out there. Martin Rotenbach in second place. Tienes Buerta in third. Ryan Ottens in that Lexus 2016 model, 2016 chassis, might I point that out, is in fourth place, chasing down the 2022-2023 cars. Hansi Myberg in the BMW M4 GT3. Conrad Martin out in the Ferrari. His reasoning for being in the Ferrari is he's done well this season with it. He's really had a huge amount of fun in the Gold and the Pro-Am division that he's going to keep with it. Harry Van Zyl getting a run. Ryan Ottens still putting in some really good times, but you can see that 1.2 second deficit starting to build up, and that is based on the car. Charles Darden, he's out on the track as well, switching over to the Lamborghini to do a little bit of fun testing with it. And then we have got Grant Sebastian also jumping into the mighty Lexus. Christopher Radloff going into the Lexus. The original OG cars that everyone wanted to be in due to the brute force power. Then you have got Jamie Reese out in 13th. 14th, we got Jonathan Chrysler, who is in the Mercedes. Then we have got Peterson out in the Ferrari. Vessel Huda in the Audi R8 GT3 Evo. Daniel De Villiers out in the 007 Nissan GTR. Enric Sichers back out in his Ferrari. Andre Serradio jumping into the Bentley and being one of our leading Bentleys at the moment, also known as the Boatley, returning to the track. Alan Patterson in the BMW M6. Janneman Price chasing him down in 21st position in the Lexus, and going and dropping down because he actually went up a little bit. SES Days in the mighty Jaguar taking 21st, so Janneman Press in 22nd. Then we have got Miller out in the V12 powered Aston Martin, the last true Aston Martin race car, because the Aston Martin V8 actually runs a Mercedes motor. How's that for a bit of info? Then we've got Fafiers. He's out in 24th position in the Ferrari. Altman Boertma going and supporting South Africa with his colours in 25th in the Mercedes, followed by Johan Kleinhans in the Lexus, saying, chill, daddy, chill. It's all good. Graham Mull out in the Lexus as well. Then we have got Jaco Krobler jumping back into the Bentley. Aiden Russell, he's out on the circuit having a bit of fun. He's out in the Lexus. Richard van Heerde out in the Bentley. Then you've got Tian Thuron out in his Bentley. Mario Senecal out in the Aston Martin V12 Vantage, screaming his way through. Absolutely amazing. And side by side with an M6 is just brilliant. Then we've got Gabriel Melbourne jumping into the PlayStation GT Sport Motel Team Nissan GTR. Anton Lummers, he's out there having a bit of fun. And in the Mercedes, Bago Krobler jumping into his Lamborghini that he's done well in. And then Michael Schultz rounding out the field in the Porsche 992. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, now that we have reaching the end of qualifying, is everyone excited? Let me know if you're excited to see this break in history for the Grid Championship, to have old versus new put together, combined with some of the finest drivers in South Africa, all looking to do battle for the final time in an encore round. You called for it. You said, give us more. We want to race more. We want to see the action. Well, it was heard. Mettlestate, RaceFace, and MTN came together to put this all together and make it work. And might I also add that having the older cars, well, Larissa, I know you're with Mettlestate, out over at twitch.tv slash Mettlestate. You're having a bit of a party out there. Bet you didn't see this one coming. And to everyone else on RaceFace, I can see you guys there. Got Ino Zia. Thank you very much for jumping in and also being part of it. But let me know. Show your excitement. Show the flames. Show the strong arms. Have the party. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an encore. And we're going to have it really going off. We are going to light the fires tonight at Monza, the Temple of Speed. One of the historic circuits with such a massive history in the world of motorsport. And now we're setting history once again, but in the sim racing world over at the Grid Championship, to have all these cars doing battle. No more of the Ferrari, Lamborghini that we have seen dominating the pack. We've switched it up for this evening. Cameron de Bastos out in the top. First place in the McLaren, trying to get a little bit of pace out there. But let's see if we can get Janneman back on the comms to give us a bit of an insight of how it feels to be out on the track with everyone. Janneman, can you hear me? I know you're in your Lexus. You've just parked. Can you hear me there, bud? Okay, so we have got comms with Janneman, so we're going to bring him in to come and have a chat with us. So, Janneman, you were just out there with a variety of vehicles. How does it feel to be back and see all this?
Well, it actually feels quite different, you know, having the older cars out on track. As I said at the beginning of the stream, it's a bit nostalgic. It takes you back to your years gone by of racing ACC. And it's good to see the old cars out on track. And at the same time, it's kind of an eye-opener how quick the newer cars have begun or have become.
That's it. Let's head to a break and we will be back shortly. And we are back, everyone, for some amazing action that's going to be coming through. Cameron de Bastos out in first place is going to be leading out the field in the more modern McLaren. Janneman, I'll bring you in a little bit later as we go through the chat. So good luck for your race.
Thanks a lot, Stephen. I'll chat to you later.
All right, and that was Janneman going and giving us a little bit of insight. We'll be back with him during the course of the race, but let's take a look at the Grid Championship, brought to you by RaceFace and brought to you by Mettlestate, fueled by MTN. Cameron de Bastos out in first place. Second, Martin Rotenbach, Jaco Coetzee, Anrik Sikkers, along with Kerry van Zyl, Tiernas Buerta, followed by Conrad Martin, Jean-Ray Buerta, Jonathan Chrislet, Ryan Ottens leading it out for our older class, our Asterix class, followed by Alan Patterson. Then we have got Christopher Radloff jumping in, Hansi Myberg lying in 13th position. 14th, Charles Darden, Wessel Wooder, Grant Sebastian, Jamie Rees, Peterser, Verveers, Daniel de Villiers, Eric Kirstein, Andre Serradio, SESAs, Janneman Price, Johan Kleinans, Ian Upton, Darren Miller, Aldwin Butter, Aidan Russell, Graham Moll, Jaco Krobler, Richard van Heerde, Tian Theron, Mario Senecal, Anton Lummers, Gabriel Melman, Bago Krobler, and Michael Schultz rounding out the field. And this will be the first time in the Grid Championship season that we are having all three divisions on the track with one another. History is going to be made, ladies and gentlemen, as they get ready. One corner to get themselves going. Cameron de Bastos back out in first place, something he knows very, very well. Followed by Martin Rotenbach lining up. Then we have got Jaco Kutzer up on the inside, ready to take the charge. Unrik Sekkers, remember, turn 1 is a very, very sharp right-hander, followed by a very sharp left-hander. So the grid is going to Constantina. It's going to close up, and the newer cars can stop dead, but things like your M6s and Jaguars, well, they're a little bit harder to hit the brakes on it. So let's see how it's going to go. Lined up on the line. Haunted ZA jumping into the grandstands as well. Good to see there. Jonathan could see as well. And the race is on. 1 hour, no pit stops, multiple different age cars. Cameron de Bastos leading out the charge. Martin Rottenbach doing everything he can. Jaco Kutzer lining up side by side with Anja Sikkers. Jonas Buerter. There's a monster of a shot. Little bit of contact in the background. And that looks to be Peterson getting involved in it, unfortunately. And oh, that was a bit of carnage. One of the M4s going and landing up in a bit of a smack. Everyone having to take evasive maneuvers at the moment as they power their way through. Cameron de Bastos gets away. Martin Rotenbach, Unrik Sekkers immediately right onto the back of him. Gerry van Zyl is out at the top in 4th place, getting chased down by first of our historics, Ryan Ottens. Christopher Adloff immediately on the back of him. Fellow teammate in the newer car. Oh, one of the Mercedes though, outbreaking himself into the corner and getting caught out. Jaco Kutzer trying to do everything he can. Oh, a little bit of contact, and that's Jonathan Chrislet getting a bit more of a jump. Grant Sebastian wasn't able to climb on the anchors just as hard as he wanted. Oh, Conrad Martin getting a little bit of a bump, and that, I think, was Charles Darden, followed by Daniel de Villiers going and capitalizing on it. Darden dropping a little bit further down. Andre Serradio sending the big Bentley up on the inside. He manages to get past. It looks like Jamie Rees is going to attempt to do the same. Alan Patterson with that damage. He's going to keep powering his way through, sticking his nose on the outside. Going to go side by side with the likes of Rees as they maneuver their way through. Charles Darden trying to go defensive and go and onto the back of Andre Serradio. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen, off to a bit of a killer start. Martin Rotenbach getting past Cameron de Bastos. Unrik Sekkers lying in 3rd place. Ryan Ottens in 4th. Being chased down by Gerry van Zyl, Christopher Radloff right onto the back of him. Tianis Buerter, Jean-Ray Buerter, Jonathan Chrislet doing everything he can. He's got Jaco Kutzer right behind him. Daniel de Villiers managing to get past a big Nissan GTR, also known and nicknamed Godzilla. Getting chased down by Grant Sebastian as they pile their way through. Andre Serradio in 13th place. 14th is Charles Darden, Jamie Rees, Alan Patterson, everyone getting their run off the line. Let's see if we can go back to lap 1 and get a bit of an idea of what happened out there. So, quick replay. Please work, don't break. And this is the start where everyone's going and making their name known. And it looks like a bit of contact between the BMW and the Audi, and that just created a bit of a concertina effect. Multiple contacts as they all having to come to a stop and just try and maneuver their way through. So that gives a little bit of the story of what happened at turn 1 for the start of this Encore race of the Grid Championship. Ryan Ottens onto the back of Unrik Sekkers. Ottens doing everything he can to keep up the pace. Jean-Ray Buerter is in 8th place. He's got Jonathan Chrislet right behind him. Jaco Kutzer also trying to make up a little bit of time. He's diving, looking right, trying to figure out where he can go and get the power down. Maneuvering his way through the McLaren, looking towards the inside. So Kutzer gonna try and go a little bit later on the brakes compared to Jonathan, and does so beautifully, getting by. Daniel de Villiers going and keeping ahead. Grant Sebastian has got Andre Serradio in the Boatley going and powering his way through. Please note, South African colours and Union Jack on the car. Absolutely incredible stuff. Jamie Reese getting the run on Charles Darden, and it does look like Alan Patterson going and saying, listen, buddy, I'm coming through. Looks up on the inside, going to go a little bit later on the brakes. Charles trying to go and defend, but Alan going and powering his way past the mighty M6, showing off what it can do. So Charles Darden needs to try and get back on the power. Richard van Heerden out in the Boatley, getting chased down by Jelleman Press in the mighty Lexus. And what a run. Ian Upton in the Honda NSX, powering his way through a car that has got a bit of love-hate relationship. And take a look, Jelleman on the brakes, getting ahead of Richard van Heerden, taking 17th position. Grant Sebastian a little bit further up, he lost our position to Andre Serradio, who managed to get by. So there is lots of racing, ladies and gentlemen, that's happening across the circuit. I see that we have got, multiple Constantina effect again into turn 1. Drivers getting overly excited. Let's take a look what happened here. This is Tian Teron going and fighting it out with one of our Lexus. He's closing up. There's a very slow Audi that he has to maneuver past. A little bit of contact. Goes late on the brakes and just trying to get past pit lane. Unfortunately, landed up in a bit of a concertina, causing a bit of a carnage his side. So now having to just try and return back to circuit. Cameron de Bastos, he's battling it out with Unrik Sikkers. Unrik Sikkers loses our position. Ryan Otten's going off circuit. And Christopher Radloff going and taking a bit of work there. It does look like Tianus Buerta manages to get by. So drivers are fighting tooth and nail. Buerta now looking to try and get past Kerry Funzel. Up on the inside. Can he make it past? No, he's not. Going and losing out a bit of a drive. So let's take a look at what's happening, ladies and gentlemen, at the track at the moment for the Grid Championship. Encore round brought to you by Mettlestate, RaceFace, and fueled by MTN. Martin Rotenbach out in first place. Cameron de Bastos in second. Unrik Sikkers followed by Kerry van Zyl in fourth place, trying to go late on the brakes. He's unable to make it past just as yet, trying to carry as much momentum. Then he's got Christopher Radloff, first of our Historics class, or our Asterics class, followed by Ryan Otten, second of our Historics class. Jean-Ray Buerta chasing him down. Jonathan Chrislet, Daniel de Villiers, third of our Historics class, powering his way through. Andre Serradio immediately onto the back of him, trying to get a little bit of drive. Kerry van Zyl going to be very, very defensive, outbreaks himself a little bit. Christopher Adloff then goes and says, thank you very much. Ryan Ottens follows suit as well as they go past one of the drivers, and I think that might be Hansi Myberg that is just allowing the drivers to come through. Daniel de Villiers, he's under pressure from Andre Serradio. This is a battle for 10th place at the moment. Bit of a fight, tooth and nail at the moment here at the Temple of Speed. Brought to you by the Grid Championship Season 4. The Encore round, we have our Pro, our Pro-Am, and our Gold Division all out on the circuit. Multiple different skill levels, and all the drivers having to get used to one another. Unfortunate contacts, as we do see in the world of Monza. Oh, there's Michael Schultz going and spinning out. I think he dropped a wheel off on the dirt. Let's see. Oh, no, that's 10 seconds back. It's not going to show us, but he has lost out 4 positions. 4 going 5 positions at this point. Trying to get himself sorted and rejoin in a safe manner out on the circuit. Some great racing out. Tianus Buerta, Unrik Sikkers, and Cameron de Bastos all closing up on one another as they power their way through, really doing everything they can. The grandstands coming alive over at the Mettlestate grandstands, and also in the world of Cameron de Bastos getting turned around under braking by Tianus Buerta and Christopher Adloff capitalizing. Ryan Otten's getting past, Kerry van Zyl getting past, Jean-Ray Buerta, Jonathan Chrislet, Daniel de Villiers, Andre Serradio, Grant Sebastian, Cameron de Bastos gets going once again. Jamie Reese trying to get a little bit of momentum. Unrik Sikkers lost out a bit of time there. Jelleman Price up into 14th position, chasing his way through. Ian Upton up into 15th. The little Honda powering its way around. Jonathan Kutzer, Graham Moll getting ahead of the brand spanking new. Well, I wouldn't know. It's not the brand spanking new, because the brand spanking new would be the Ferrari 296. That over there is the Ferrari 488 Italia and was the precursor to the 296. So another one of our historic cars out there, Eric Kirstein, taking up the challenge as well and fighting it out. Lexus versus Ferrari 488. That has not happened in years, can I add. Going nearly on 2 years have we seen these two cars battle it out. Same time, nearly 2 years it has been since we've seen the Lexus and the Bentley together on the same circuit. So that is how far back we're going. We have got some in the newer cars that, let's put it into racing logic. Example, we got Mario Cynical out there. He is currently playing on the original CS. Not even the CSGO. The original CS. Then you got Peterson, who is now driving the CS, well, Counter-Strike 2. So the last time the Aston Martin V12 Vantage was updated to keep the pace, which we've seen two of them out on the circuit, currently on the screen between Mario Cynical and Darren Miller, was back in 2018, 2019 was the last time these two cars that, as we see Mario going and unfortunately running into the back of Peterson, and it looked like Miller was trying to capitalize on that, unable to do it. But the last time these cars were updated was 2019. If that tells you what these guys are doing in the order of fun, in the order of taking up the challenge that was issued for the final round of the Grid Championship, round 8 at Suzuka, which, if you've missed it, go watch it over at twitch.tv/Mettlestate or over at RaceFace.Pro out on YouTube. Go watch it. It's amazing. We crowned our new champion, which is just amazing to have all the guys slugging it out. And I gotta say, great stuff. But that being said, we do have someone that's currently in the car, and let's see if I can get him on the radio. So I'm gonna try and give him a chat. Yannaman, can you hear me? All right, so it looks like we have got Yannaman on comms, so let's bring him through. Yannaman, we got you on comms. You're on the live stream. You're busy driving. 48 minutes into the race. It has been a bit of an interesting start to the race. You have managed to claw up your positions, but it seems like the older cars are having a bit of a tougher time chasing the cars ahead. You've got Unrik Sikkers, who's got Cameron De Bastos. They're fighting for 11th, 12th. You're in 13th position. How is it out on the circuit? What's the conditions feeling like?
Well, the Lexus with a full tank of fuel does suffer from a bit of understeer, so lap times not being what they should at the moment, and it does kind of struggle to slow down a bit. Oh, as we see a little bit of an accident.
So the guys making their way through. That was Cameron De Bastos and Unrik Sikkers getting caught out between the two of them. Cameron De Bastos sliding around. Jamie Rees now getting into the play. He's in that BMW M6 getting chased down by the 296. Now you're going to see all these cars battling it out. You have now got Jaco Kutzer starting to catch up to you. Do you feel that the older cars may be able to outpace the newer? Or do you think it's a little bit of a hard fight at the moment?
I think it's going to be a bit of a difficult one. The older cars do suffer from a bit of lack of pace, to put it this way. Look, they're lightning quick on the straights, but in the corners, not so much.
Okay, well, we got you with Jaco Kutzer trying to look up your inside, trying to go late on the brakes, you closing off onto the apex.
And the Lexus doesn't slow down.
And going out wide. Oh, sorry about that one, but it looks like Harry Van Zale's got a bit of a problem just ahead of you, so you're going to be trying to close up a distance to him. So managing to gain a position, but on the charts, Jaco Kutzer.
And this is the straight line speed, what I'm talking about. But now I need to get on the brakes earlier than the McLaren, so that's where we're kind of losing out at this stage.
But I've got a question. Are you having fun in the older car?
Oh, it's lots of fun.
Well, we're going to leave you there, and we'll rejoin you back out it. So I also got told by you, Surreal, commentator cursing the commentator. Well, he's a driver at the moment, so I'm going to use that. So Janneman having to take evasive action there. Jan, we're going to leave you out for the race, as it looks like it is heating up out on the track.
Okay, Steve, chat to you later.
Cheers. So some interesting insights, and as we saw a little bit of carnage, that was Jean-Ray Buerta getting involved in a bit of carnage, everyone fighting their way through, trying to get used to it. Let's see what actually happened. That was Ulrich Sickers, one of the BMW M6s coming by and just absolutely getting nailed into the side of the cars, causing a little bit of a turnaround for everyone. So this is great stuff in terms of guys trying to make positions. Not so great if you're the one that's getting affected. So the driver's having to just try and settle it down a little bit, get back into pace, and you can see how the damage brutally affects the cars. Ian Upton, though, has got Ulrich Sickers right onto the back of him. The 296 Ferrari V6 going and battling the 4-cylinder turbocharged Honda NSX for 11th position. And I do see number 46, that is Wesselhoede in 33rd. That's gone and lost out. He's trying to get himself all back out on the track and get going once again. Jonathan Chrysler, he has got Grant Sebastian onto the back of him. Jonathan going really hard on the brakes and trying to power his way through for the Grid Championship, brought to you by Mettlestate, fueled by MTN, and currently being run by RaceFace. And here we go, Richard van Heerden, Alton Boetma going around the outside as they try to make their way through. Boetma getting held up a little bit as he tries to get around one of the Aston Martins. He's trying to get onto the back of Richard van Heerden's big Bentley, but he has got a Lexus that's in between them. It's getting into a little bit of a carnage situation. The drivers each trying to get a little bit more of a run. I can't leave the guys really stretching it out and having a bit of fun out there on the circuit. We have seen a bit of carnage as well, and just got reports from Alan Pazson. He suffered a bit of damage to his car, saying unfortunately that may be him looking at a retirement at the moment. So he's keeping an eye on the rest of his drivers. He's also keeping an eye on Darren Miller in the V12 Aston Martin, powering its way through, singing the song of its people. Ultimate Buerta in the mighty Mercedes V8, trying to get past the Mercedes GT3 Evo 2. Just couldn't keep the Aston Martin at bay. The PWSR Aston gets a slide though and takes off to the weeds. That's going and losing out of position. Doing so well till the tail end snapped out underneath him. Daniel de Villiers has got Eric Kirstein, the 488 Ferrari, trying to go up on the inside of the Nissan GTR. De Villiers going and losing out the drive. And it does look like Graham Moll trying to capitalize. He goes up on the inside, looking to go side by side as they power their way through. We've got our historic class having a bit of fun out there. Jean Fifiers actually saying... how's it out there? And also going and saying his dad is out on circuit. So, Jon, this is your dad for Trail Bullets. So, you have convinced your dad to come racing for the Encore round. I love it there. Absolutely love it. It's great to see. There's, guys stepping in to do that. Oh, contact Daniel de Villiers in the background. Looks like one of the Ferraris. Everyone having to take evasive maneuvers at the moment. De Villiers having a bit of a problem and a bit of a coming together. He got a bit clouted. Let's see what happened. Was in his battle. There's Graham Moll. I was trying to fight him out. The Ferrari 488 just ahead of him. He tries to go up on the inside. Catches the rear wheels of the Ferrari. It bounces back. And he loses the drive, then clouts into the wall. Guys taking evasive maneuvers. Oh, one of the Bentleys having a bit of contact as well. So good to see there. And good to hear that for Fears, your dad has been racing this season. He has been racing in the gold division of the Grid Championship Season 4, brought to you by Mettlestate, the Grid Championship running in its 4th season. The first Encore round at the moment as the drivers all trying to maneuver their way through. As I said, this is the very first time in the Grid Championship that we have had our gold, our Pro-Am and our Pro all together. A little bit of chaos while everyone's trying to get themselves sorted out, tripping over each other's feet, also trying out very, very new cars, not only in terms of the older stuff, but also in the newer stuff. Andre Serradio now having a battle with Jonathan Chrisette right behind him. Jonathan goes late on the brakes, trying to go up on the inside, tops over the curb, completely misses it, and there we go. Andre Serradio says, well, buddy, I'm going to keep coming around and get going once again. You're going to have to return the position, and you do so. Grant Sebastian in the Lexus, now closing up the distance. He's going to do everything he can to get past as well. They're fighting out for 5th, 6th and 7th position at the moment. Cameron de Bastos in 8th position, trying to power his way through. So let's take a look at who's gained the most. Martin Rotenbach out in 1st place, has had an easy run. He's gained 1 position from the start. Tiernis Buerta gaining 4 positions. Ryan Ottens, 1st of our historic class, up in 3rd place. Christopher Radloff in 4th. Here, 1st and 2nd of our Hysterics class. Andre Serradio is lying in 3rd of it. Jonathan Chrislet, followed by Grant Sebastian, making up some ground. Cameron de Bastos lost out 7 positions. Jaco Kutza has lost out 6 positions. Janneman Price up 14 positions. Ian Upton chasing him down. He is up 15 positions, trying to make a bit of momentum as he claws his way through. So good to see him out there. Ulrich Sichers chasing him down behind. He's in 12th position, down 8 He's down 8 from where he started. Bego Krubler up 24 positions. Graham Moll up 17. Aiden Russell up 15. Peterson up 3 positions. John Verveers is up 3 positions. Michael Schultz up 21 positions. Anton Lummers up 17. Conrad Martin is down 12 positions. Jaco Krobler up 11. Tian Theron up 12 positions. Gabriel Melman up 14 positions. Essie exactly where he started, in the Jag. You know, the Jeremy Clarkson Jag. And being the first of the Jags out there. Jean-Ray Buerta here is down in 25th position, down 16 positions. Johan Kleinans is where he started, trying to make his way around. And he's getting chased down by Altman Buerta, up 2 positions from where he started in 26th. Mario Senecal up 7 positions from where he started in the Aston Martin V12. Ulrich Sichers is down into 28th, so he's lost out a bit there. Miller also looks like he's having to retire the car. So what happened to Miller in that bit of contact? And let's see if we can go back. No, he was sustaining some severe contact early on. And just limped it back to pits at this point, trying to get the Aston Martin back to there. And you just listen to the howl of that Aston Martin. Very, very few distinctive howls that we see in the world of racing, and that being one of them. So good to see the guys out there. Some of them having fun, others not having too much of an exciting race this time around. Grant Sebastian, Jonathan Chrislet, they are battling it out on circuit. Closest battle, 6th and 7th, fighting it out. Old versus new at the moment. Grant Sebastian in that 2016 Lexus, and it does look like we've got another one Lexus. Bit of contact between Grant Sebastian and Jonathan Chrislet, and that was under the braking. I think Grant Sebastian was trying to lift off, seeing that there was a car involved. And Jonathan now slowing up, allowing the guys to retake. He's hoping Grant Sebastian can get past him. Loses out to Janneman Price. And there's Grant Sebastian getting past. Janneman now in the charge and become a 3-car train. So there is a middle of the battle going on. Janneman Price, Grant Sebastian, Jonathan Chrislet going and duking it out. And if I'm correct in saying this, Janneman's only raced against Grant Sebastian. He hasn't raced against Jonathan Chrislet in history. So, not even from the console world days. So, there is some very, very interesting little battles there. A bit of history being made. Drivers getting to square up against one another for the very first time, if not the very few times. Grant Sebastian getting the drive. He's trying to make up some time, but it looks like that Mercedes AMG Evo GT3, Evo 2 GT3 now trying to gain a little bit of time. Ian Upton in 10th place in the little Honda. That kid is going and utilizing all the VTEC at the moment to close down the distance. Michael Schultz for 14th position. He gains a position over Fifiers and now is chasing down Aiden Russell, who is 11 seconds up the road from him. So some interesting battles. Jonathan Christ looks up on the inside of Grant Sebastian, goes up late on the brakes, makes it work. Grant drops down and needs to really put the power back on in hopes that he can gain some time for the Grid Championship Season 4 Encore round, brought to you by Mettlestate, RaceFace and MTN. It has been a bit of an interesting start, to say the least. Some few accidents coming along the way, and a couple of drivers just not getting the hang of the track conditions, the new cars that they're trying out, but some of them taking to it much like a duck in water. Martin Rotenbach leading out the field. Tennis Buerta up in second place. Christopher Radloff, Andre Serradio. Ryan Otten's actually lost out a bit of time there. He's in 5th place. Jaco Gutsa. Janoman Price in 7th. 8th place. Jonathan Chriset. Grant Sebastian. Ian Upton. Bago Krubler in 11th position. Graham Moll. Aiden Russell. Michael Schultz. Jean Fifiers outbreaks himself. Well, completely outbreaks himself. Tries to maneuver his way through. And I can go and vouch that his son has looked at him and saying, you missed the braking a little bit further back, and if you wouldn't mind putting the corner back where you found it, that would be appreciated. Peter going around and getting past. And then you've got Fifiers tucking into 16th position. Conrad Martin, Jaco Krobler going and battling it out in 18th. 19th is Anton Lammers, Gabriel Melman, SCSAs, and it looks like Gabriel a little bit slow on exit with that Nissan GTR just before we cut, and he had Vessel Wooder in the Audi in 26th position, who is a couple of laps down, trying to make up a bit of ground. Essie in the mighty Jaguar, going and showing off what he can. I actually had a chat to Essie with this and saying, well, what was the reason for the Jaguar? And he said, well, I wanted it in black because I want to be a panther, not a jaguar. So there's something out there. The driver's going and having a bit of fun. Jean-Ray Buerta in 22nd. 23rd is Alton Buerta with Kleinans chasing him down in the Lexus. And this is going to be amazing. Taking a look over to our grandstands. The Mettlestate grandstand still throwing a massive party. So, to everyone out in the RaceFace grandstands, or if you're just going to keep an eye on this, head over to twitch.tv/Mettlestate. You know what? I'm going to put a challenge to you guys over in the RaceFace grandstand. Go and jump over. I want you to go to twitch.tv/Mettlestate. Right, now listen to me. And in the comments for the twitch.tv/Mettlestate, I want you to go and put in what is your favorite car in Assetto Corsa Competizione or GT3 racing in history. So, I'm putting the challenge out there. I'm going to also, for the Grid Championship, fueled by MTN, brought to you by Mettlestate and RaceFace, I'm going to put the link to Mettlestate. I want you guys to go over there, put in the comments, let Larissa Hawk and everyone from Mettlestate, because I don't think everyone at Mettlestate has met the sim racers, all the teams. So how about let's go introduce ourselves. Let's go say how's it. Let's go and show some love over at Mettlestate. And likewise, from the Mettlestate grandstand, I would like you guys to head over to RaceFace.Pro out on YouTube and introduce yourselves there. So we're putting the challenge. Not only did our drivers go and take on the challenge of bringing the older cars to the circuit for an encore round, Well, who says the performers are the only ones that need to have the encore? It's time for the crowd to have an encore. Head over. I already see you Surreal jumping in to the grandstand and saying it's got to be the M6. That's what he loves. That's what he enjoys. The old Beamer. So already you Surreal is first to jump across and say, how's it in that grandstand? I want to see it. Anyone from Mettlestate, I want to see you guys come over and also say how's it and put your favorite car that you love to see out on the track. So let's get you guys having a bit of fun. Let's get the grandstands to have a bit of an encore here for the final round. It's not the final round. This is the encore for Season 4 of the Grid Championship. 4 seasons it's been running. The first ever encore round that is in history of the Grid Championship. And this is where it's going to be the fight. I really could see people jumping in. It's going mad in the grandstands there. I could see we're up to 52 people out on the RaceFace that are currently watching. We have got 10 currently out on Mettlestate and climbing by the second. I love to see it. Evie Dragon jumping in as well. Lamborghini going and putting it there. While we're seeing Ryan Ottens diving up on the inside of Yoko Kutsa. It is the Lexus powering its way through with Yoko Kutsa right behind. Absolutely monstrous to see these two battling it out. We have got a whole lot of just everything's going wild because this is it. This is absolutely it. This is where we're going and we are breaking history at the moment. Larissa Hawk jumping over, and for anyone that doesn't know Larissa over in the RaceFace grandstands, she has been the point of communication for myself at Mettlestate for the last 4 seasons and saying love seeing the Jag, which is currently out there and having a bit of fun. And that is SESA's first of the Jaguars. So there we go. We got VNN Armor going and saying the Merc AMG. We have got J-Dog going and supporting the Lexus as that is the car, which Grant Sebastian is currently behind. Bago Hrobler putting the pressure on. This is what we're getting. This is what we're making history. And can I point out, I know this is not the usual thing for any esport caster in the world for the Grid Championship, brought to you by Mettlestate, RaceFace, and fueled by MTN. But if you know MTN, if you know Mettlestate, if you know RaceFace, well, we don't conform to the norm. We set the history. And that's what we're doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely love it. As we see both new versus old grandstands mixing it up with one another. Oh, man, I absolutely love this. So, Martin Rotenbach leading out the field. Tiernos Burta out in second place. Christopher Radloff, Andre Soradio, Jaco Hutzer, Ryan Ottens, Yanaman Price, Jonathan Chrysler, Bago Krobler, Grant Sebastian, Ian Upton, Graham Moll. Followed in 13th place, Michael Schultz, John Viviers, apologies, Conrad Martin, Aiden Russell, SES Hayes, Jean-Ray Burta. Then we have got Anton Lammers, Jaco Krobler, Alton Burta, Johan Kleinans, Mario Serikal, Gabriel Malland, Vessel Wuda, Tian Theron, Hansi Meyerberg is out there, Peterson out in the pits, Richard van Heerde coming past, he's in 29th position in the big mighty Boatley. Janneman Press getting overtaken by the likes of Jonathan Chrysler, Bago Krobler, but putting the pressure immediately back on. And Usuriel going and saying, send it out over there. I love to see the enthusiasm. I love to see the support. There's also Come On Graham Moll and Altman Burta being supported out in the chat for the encore round. History being broken, history being made. And you know who's doing it, folks? It's you guys, the spectators, the teams, the drivers, the family members, the friends, just everyone out there. We're making history tonight. We're going to blow it up across the world for the final time for Season 4. We're going to send Season 4 off in a bang of note. All the excitement, all the fun, all the carnage and chaos. And you know what it's come through is just absolutely incredible to it. And, well, I see Jonathan Chriset now defending Bago Krobler, tries to go around the inside, couldn't do it, gonna look around the outside. And you see Jonathan locking down that inside line. He's able to make it work and gets back onto the power. And Jarmo Price going and jumping a little bit closer, but he's got Grant Sebastian flush in his mirrors, left and right at the moment for the Lexus. The two battling it out, 0.2 of a second between them, and they are fighting it out for the top 10. Conrad Martin going and fighting out with for fears. These two squaring up onto the circuit for the final time. And we also got VNN going and saying, go Gabriel Melmond, out over on the twitch.tv / Mettlestate, going and supporting his friend driver. Just, I mean, this is incredible stuff. And I truly believe what we're seeing here with this sort of chat, well, I think it's a first for both Mettlestate and RaceFace in history that we've had everyone crossing paths in the Grid Championship. This is the first time we have seen old versus new going and fighting it out, as Jonathan Chris said, and Grant Sebastian going and fighting it tooth and nail at this point, powering their way around the circuit. 0.2 of a second, you can see that Mercedes trying to straight line, utilizing the slipstream, pulling themselves along. 24 minutes left of the Grid Championship. Encore round. The first ever Encore round for the Grid Championship. And you know what? We made it special for Season 4 because it's fueled by MTN. MTN coming back for a second time in the Grid history. And you know what? We thought, since they made history for coming back, and the Grid making history by having Mettlestate running a Season 4, well, we brought it all back to the party. We brought it all back to the fun. Tienes Buerta is down into the pits, though. What happened to him? Let's see if we can go back a couple of seconds and see what happened. This was into turn 1. Oh, into Vesselwood. Goes and loses out the drive. Bounces around. Comes back and just stopping before the circuit. Everyone having to take evasive actions. And absolutely incredible stuff. So guys are having a big bit of fun out there. I see Mettlestate also going and showing off their social media. Go and follow them out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also out on RaceFace. Go and take a look at RaceFace.Pro on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. But most importantly, go and take a look at MTN. They're running some amazing, amazing stuff as well. And I think after this, seeing the amazing battles that we've seen on track, seeing old versus new, I wouldn't be surprised if we might see the return of the Hysterics class, which is our older class, our historical class, going and battling it out again. Who knows? Who knows? We may see the Jag fighting a return. The Lexus showing off what it can do. But I do want to point out, Martin Rotenbach in the 992 Porsche, released a couple of months ago, is out in first place. He's had an easy run at the moment. Christopher Radloff, second place in the Lexus. Andre Serradio, third in the Bentley. They kept their noses clean. They've been in fights. They've powered their way through. And taking a look at the lap times, they're very close in lap times as well to the modern cars, if not slightly faster than some of them. So this is going to also make people wonder, scratch their heads. Maybe, just maybe, have they found something? Maybe we will see the return of these older vehicles into more modern racing. Because not only is it fun, but it's proving to have a bit of pace underneath them. So absolutely amazing. And Surreal actually going and saying, can we hear something? Young Press trying to go around the outside. He misses the corner. So we're getting asked a special request, and we're going to have a symphony, ladies and gentlemen, a symphony. Andre Serradio, Bentley. So this is the symphony of Monza, third place in the Bentley with the Union Jack and the South African flag. Get ready. for the pleasure on the ears. There's the goosebumps. The roaring Bentley. And under braking, you can hear the overrun as it gets back onto the power. But that tells you the trumpets that are going on. Let's go to Christopher Radloff in second place. Lexus V8 small block. Oh, the singing songs that we're hearing out tonight. There we go. Martin Rotenbach out in first place. 992 Porsche. Screaming its way along with 20 minutes left of the race. 20 minutes and 29 seconds of the race so far. Martin Rotenbach out in first place. Christopher Radloff second. Andre Serradio in third. Followed by Jaco Kutzer, Ryan Ottens, Bago Krobler, Grant Sebastian, Jonathan Chryslet, Janeman Price, Ian Upton, Graham Mole, Michael Schultz, and followed by Conrad Martin. For Fears in 14th. 15th is Aiden Russell. SES Ace out on the track. So we heard the 992. We heard the Bentley, we heard the Lexus. I see Vessel Order has got a 32nd. But we're going to play a game, ladies and gentlemen, for the last 20 seconds. And why not? Let's have a game. What sounds better? So, for Larissa Hawk, she says the Jaguar. Let's take a listen. Oh, you can hear the Queen and the King celebrating in the sound of that vehicle. So, you heard the sound of the Jag. Now, everyone wait, before you have your points to it, let's go to Bago Krobler in the Lamborghini. The screaming V10 hurling its way around the circuit. Absolutely incredible. And now let's listen to the Mercedes GT3 Evo 2. There we go. Now, the challenges to the spectators. I want you guys to go over because Mettlestate, they like racing, but they don't quite know all of the racing. So I want everyone from the RaceFace grandstand to go over to Mettlestate / twitch.tv/Mettlestate. And I want you guys to put in the comment best sounding GT3 car out on circuit. So spectators challenge. What sounded the best? And I'll only accept the answers out on Mettlestate. Now we do have a couple others out there. We have got Gabriel Melmend. Let's go and listen to the Nissan GTR. Let's head to Mario Cynical of the Aston Martin V12. So, you've heard it. We have got a couple of cars unfortunately out. But, to you guys out there, you put the vote. You give it all. I'm seeing Lambro going out there, the Lambo being the favorite. Mercedes going and being shouted out. The 992 being shouted out. So we got Surreal going and saying Lambo 992. We got Armor going and saying Mercedes. So we have got quite a bit of chatter out there. But one thing we do have with 16 seconds to go is a battle for third place. Andre Serradio, Yako Kutsa. Kutsa goes up on the inside, trying to get past, straight lining, but it looks like the Bentley is going to fight it out. Andre Serradio trying to desperately hold on to third place, middle of the circuit. Yako Kutsa is going to go around the outside, trying to go late on the brakes. Can he get it to work? Not just as yet. Gets back on the power and just losing out. That Bentley able to power its way through the Parabolica and really clawing its way around the circuit. And it does look like Andre Serradio is able to get the momentum, keep the power up, and hold that third place. But now it's going to come under braking. And this is where the Bentley is going to lose out ever so slightly. You can see he's trying to go as late as possible. Really shift the weight to the nose and go for it. So this is absolutely incredible, incredible stuff. The guys just digging deep, racing their hearts out currently on circuit. This is a battle for third place. One of our closest battles out on the track, and is for podium positions. Now, to also point out, Andre Serradio and Yako Kutsa are fighting it out for their respective classes. Second place of the new and the old. They are fighting it to see what it's going to be between the new and the old. So, I mean, this is just turning into an amazing, amazing fight. It does look like Serradio runs out wide. So does Kutsa, trying to carry the momentum, getting that aero wash. It's going to go side by side, racing their way through as they make their way into the corners. Oh, it's going to be who's climbing on the brakes a lot later. Andre Serradio is going to lock it on the inside, though. Can he keep it together? Holds that apex, squeezes Kutsa off, and a drive-through penalty for Jean-Ray Buerta, going and exceeding track limits. Jean-Ray Buerta is our champion for our Pro-Am or Gold division. I think it's Pro-Am division. He's got a track limit, so he's been caught out there. So a couple of drivers losing out. Bago Krobler has got Grant Sebastian a bit behind him, but Grant Sebastian has got a very, very close Jonathan Chrysler chasing him down. Also, one of our closest battles out on the track. And this is turning into monstrous fights all around for the last little bit of the Grid Championship, brought to you by Mettlestate, RaceFace, and fueled proudly by MTN, and MTN being the proud sponsor of our nation's Springboks, and we will come home with the World Cup, just like our drivers will be coming home with all the amazing prizes. We've got the prize pool that was put up, and our drivers receiving that prize pool. Big thank you to our sponsors, MTN, Mettlestate, and just massive thank you to them in that, and just having our drivers having something to race and have a bit of fun out there on the circuit. It's great to see it. Ultimate Buerta has got Kleinans. Kleinans looking up on the inside. Buerta just managing to eke it out just ahead and really trying to keep up the run. Andre Serradio and Kutsa still battling it out. They're fighting for their respective positions at the moment. But that being said, while we see them fighting out, we heard from you guys over in the chats. Well, out there in the grandstands, let's actually listen once we just see this battle see through. Kutsa trying to go around the outside of Andre Serradio. Serradio gonna lock up on the inside, and can he keep it going? Serradio trying to carry the momentum through the Parabolica, has got tight line, so he is going to have a slightly compromised exit, and that's working his way out, just managing to eke out the battle. But that being said, let's go and see if we can get ahead of get hold of our resident Stig. Yannaman Price, can you hear me out there, buddy? Alright, so we got Yannaman out on comms. Yannaman, you're out on comms at the moment. You're currently lying in 9th place. It has been a bit of a climb for you. We're seeing a interesting battle ahead of you, 3rd and 4th, and that's between Andre Serradio in the Bentley versus Jaco Kutzer in the 720S, the brand new McLaren Evo that's currently chasing up. They're fighting for currently 3rd place. But we did ask the question out in the chat, what is the best sounding GT3 car that's currently out on circuit? You're in the Lexus at the moment, but do you have any favorites?
Well, it must be between either the Lexus or the V12 Aston Martin.
So those are your picks.
Yep.
Okay, so are you going to flip a coin and see which one wins? You just take your hand off the steering and see what happens.
Well, you know the Lexus is my favorite. Just because I drive one.
Okay, there we go. Well, good to keep up the hard work. Just over 10 minutes left of this race. And while we follow 3rd place battle, enjoy your run. And we'll chat to you after the race.
Thanks, Stephen.
So, some tremendous stuff. Good to see the guys having a bit of fun out there. And getting to hear from Jan Price, currently in the car, currently in 9th place in the race. Fellow commentator took up the challenge to go and represent us from the commentary box into the seats, and he's going and having a bit of fun out there. Andre Serradio keeping ahead of Kutzer. These two are fighting it out. Hammer and tongs at the moment for 3rd place. A little bit further behind, we've got Ryan Ottens trying to catch up a little bit of time. You can see that Lexus slowly but surely creeping in. Bego Krobler a little bit further back. Andre Serradio getting ahead of Jaco Kutzer. That big Bentley going and showing how wide it can become. Jaco Kutzer, though, is going to try go around the outside. It's going to be a difficult one for this, but he is going to hold the inside line if he can get it right for the next corner. Dives around to Radio, going and defending the line and trying to power his way through. So absolutely incredible stuff. Guys, if you are loving the action, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone out there, if you're loving the action, you're loving all the drama that we've had and all the fun that we have had throughout the season 4 of the Grid Championship, brought to you by Mettlestate, RaceFace, and fueled by MTN, because all this being fueled, having our drivers out there. If you love it, go and make sure that you head over to twitch.tv/Mettlestate, hit the follow button, hit the love. Go and show a little bit of love to them and let them know that RaceFace is there to stay. And also, if you're out on the RaceFace Grandstands, out on YouTube, go and hit the subscribe button along with the bell notification icon. Give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the commentary and the action, and let us know down in the comments how it is going out there. Also, massive thank you to you guys on the incredible side. We do have a little bit in store at the end of the race. So just when you think all the surprises are done, that we've changed it all bit, we're going to do something a little bit interesting. And we're going to have a bit of fun, especially for the end. So keep an eye on that, because once again, no one knows except for the very few that have a bit of an understanding to it. So we love showing our communities over at Mettlestate and RaceFace. We love showing our communities. We love showing the absolute amazing competition. We've seen it all season of proper hammer and tongs guys fighting it out, going and really being on that knife's edge and showing off our pros, our pro-ams, and our AMs in recaps. We've also gone and displayed our pros in 8-round live stream with a curtain raiser at the start of the season over at Suzuka, and then we had our likes of I'd put it as our encore round towards the end. But we wanted to do something different tonight, something special. Now see Aiden Russell getting a drive-through penalty. That's going to be for track limits, while keeping an eye on Ryan Ottens and Bego Krobler. They're going hammer and tongs at one another and doing everything they can. It does look like Andre Serradio has opened up the gap. He's managed to get himself going, but Bego Krobler onto the back of Ryan Ottens. The two teammates now battling it out, having old versus new, the Lexus versus the Lamborghini. And Grant Sebastian also battling it out with Jonathan Chrysler on circuit at the moment, doing everything they can. Jonas Kraling out in the chat. It's 43 Joker also there as well. Gabriel Dos Santos coming into the chat. Sinclair Tribe jumping in. De Villiers saying good evening as well. It's good to see you guys going and jumping into the grandstand. Some new names, some old names, some returning to the world of fun, seeing from the grandstand, seeing all the action that's currently out on circuit. I know preparations have been underway to get themselves ready for the next season. The excitement building up of what's next, what's in the future, what's to come in the world of the Grid Championship. Brought to you by Mettlestate, RaceFace, and fueled by MTN with all the amazing action that's gone here. We have split open the Pandora's box. We haven't opened it. We split it. We split it down the middle. Everything has come out. We have got old versus new. We have had the amazing, amazing spectators from both Mettlestate and from RaceFace going and moving to each other's grandstands to go and join in the party, to be part of all the amazing action, getting to talk to one another. We had Larissa Hawk jumping in. We have had Surreal. We had Vietnam Armor jumping in. I mean, it's just incredible to have you guys, the spectators, just joining in the Encore round, making this become such an exciting Encore. And when we said we want more, and the drivers heard, they said, right, we're going to go for this. The challenge was put out in round 8 to take on the older cars. And our drivers said, we'll do that. We can do that. Let's do it. Which we're seeing out on the circuit at the moment. We called to you guys, the spectators, to jump across the grandstands. You heard the call. You did it. And we went and voted on best sounds. My personal favorite, in terms of GT3s, would have to be the Z4. BMW Z4 GT3. But for out on the circuit, I'm going to give it up for the BMW M6. It wasn't a decision as one of the cars, because unfortunately we couldn't listen to the inside of the car. If I had to choose for inside the car, well, I would have to say the V12 Aston Martin. That singing song, that screaming V12, going and doing everything it can to keep itself alive. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for the amazing racing. With the final 3 minutes and 45 seconds, Jonathan Chrysler, Grant Sebastian, Bago Krobler, and Ryan Ottens all fighting it out in their respective positions. Andre Serradio seeing this battle in his rearview mirrors while he's catching up to one of our Aston Martin V12s just ahead of him. Ryan Ottens, Bago Krobler going hammer and tongs. Ryan Ottens, though, just missing out the corner completely, and that allows Bago Krobler to get the drive. Going to go around the outside and see if he can make his way around Parabolica. And a little bit of a thank you also coming in from Andre Serradio to the Aston Martin. Well done. It's nice to see that. Great stuff. So Martin Rotenbach in first place, Christopher Adloff in second, Andre Serradio, Bago Krobler, Ryan Ottens, Grant Sebastian, Jonathan Chrysler, Janneman Price, Ian Upton in 9th, 10th is Graham Moll, followed by Jaco Kutzer, Michael Schultz, Conrad Martin, John Fafiers, SES Ace, Jean-Ray Buerta, Anton Lammers, Jaco Krobler, Aldrin Buertma, Johan Kleinens, Mario Sinicol, along with Hansi Mayberg. Gabriel Melmend is still out on the circuit with that Nissan GTR, along with Tian Theron, Wesselwood, and Richard van Heerde in 26th position at the moment. 26 cars still circulating and putting up the fight. Grant Sebastian, though, goes off circuit, loses a bit of drive. Jonathan Chrysler going and slowing up. I think they might have had slight contact between the two. And it does look like Chrysler going and backing down and leaving the fight. And Bago Krobler now onto the back of Andre Serradio, doing everything he can. So, ladies and gentlemen, who's it going to be? Lamborghini, Bentley? Let me know in the grandstand. Shout it loud, shout it proud between the two. Bentley or Lamborghini, old versus new, for third place with 1 minute and 47 seconds to go. I want to see it all. I want to hear it all. I want to hear you guys screaming from all the way in Cape Town while I'm sitting here in Johannesburg. I see Gabriel dos Santos shouting it out. Bentley all the way to power its way through. Is there any more support for the Bentley? Is it going to be Lamborghini? Because Andre Serradio is going to put up this fight to hold third place. So let's get it out there. V&M Armour saying Bentley all day long. Come on, put the power down. Andre Serradio, you have got people behind you, buddy. Get going. Bego Grobler is sitting, hearing that there's so many people screaming Bentley right now in his ears. Do we have the Lamborghini supporters? Do we have people supporting the Lamborghini? If you want the Lamborghini to get ahead of the Bentley, I want to see you guys. I want to hear you guys shouting Lamborghini, going and showing it all. We have got the Bentley getting told, go faster, make a brick wall of yourself. Do not let him by. So for everyone that's a Lamborghini lover out there, Larissa Hawk, you're a Jaguar, but if you had to pick between these two, go for it. Let's see if you're into this. Let's see which one of the two are going to do it. Leanne, I know you're a Lamborghini. Go and let me know what you think. And Sinclair Tribe saying, go ahead and have a great time out there. The two sliding it out, battling out. 13 seconds to go. It looks like Serradio goes off wide. Bego Grobler's coming back at him. This is going to be the fight. So, ladies and gentlemen, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to it. Martin Rotenbach will be coming across the line to take first place for the Encore round. Christopher Radloff taking first place of our historic second overall. But the battle for third, will it be Bentley? Will it be Lamborghini? Or will it be Lexus? 1 corner to go. Serradio, Bego. Let's see what's going to work. Hard on the brakes. Both of them side by side, fighting their way through. The Lamborghinis goes out wide, still side by side. Bego doing everything he can. Oh, it's Serradio. They are door to door. It is going to be a drag race, and across the line, Andre Serradio beating Bego Grobler by 0.034. Bentley takes third. Bego Grobler in the Lamborghini taking fourth place. And Evie Dragon supporting that Lamborghini just wasn't in time. Ryan Ottens goes across in fifth. Grant Sebastian, Jonathan Chrysler, Yanneman Price comes across the line, returning to ACC. Ian Upton in the Honda in 9th place. Graham Mole going across in 10th. Jaco Kutza, Michael Schultz, Conrad Martin, Sean Verveers, along with SES Ace in 15th. Sean Ray Bertha, Jaco Grobler powering his way through. He has got Anton Lammers immediately onto the back of him. Altman Buerta, Johan Kleinans, Mario Senecal, Hansi Myberg, Gabriel Melmed, Tian Theron, Vesselwood, and Richard van Heerde coming across the line. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to get to a break and we're going to come back for a bit of it, just talking about what we just saw for the Encore.
Amabogo are defending their title in France this year. Stuur ons bokke op hul pad met jou beste stem en shai Gwijo yako by entering your school or club's Gwijo anthem into the MTN Gwijo Challenge. Win your share of R1 million by doing what it takes. Sponise, MTN, doing what it takes.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and what we're going to do is we're also going to bring Yanneman back into the commentary box. Yanneman, can you hear me out there? All right, so we're going to bring Yanneman back into the commentary box. Yanneman, what a race for the Encore round. Lots of people getting excited. There's been contact. there was some great racing out on the circuit as well. The old cars taking second and third. The finishing order for third place separate between the Lamborghini GT3 Evo 2 and the big Bentley was 0.034 right at the end. You finishing up after your return to ACC after some time up in 8th position. Just give us your thoughts there.
Well, Steve, I'm sweating. It was an awesome race, close battles. As you said, we had some contact here and there, but nothing major. And I enjoyed it quite a lot.
Oh, it's absolutely incredible stuff. And you know what? I spoke about something a little bit earlier, which a lot of people don't know. And we kept it under wraps. I mean, you and I, we've passed a few secret documents of your eyes only, and when you opened it, it would explode after 5 seconds of it ending. You know, the usual James Bond style. So we're going to bring it in, and we're going to bring in our first of it. And this actually goes out to RaceFace, Mettlestate, and MTN. So, joining in the box for the very first time, Michael Schultz. Welcome to the commentary box. Michael.
Thank you for having me.
It's an honor to have you. And tell us, where did you race in the Grid Championship this season for Season 4?
Which individual races or which league? I was
which division?
Gold. Yeah, Gold League.
You're in the Gold Division. So that is our AM Division. And how did you find the season?
It went a lot better than what I expected. Given my previous seasons, I was sort of making up the field a little bit, and then this season I just was feeling better, and then started and got much better results than I was expecting. It was a lot of fun. I had some good battles with some of the guys chasing me there for second, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Now, for anyone out there, Michael Schultz is also a guitarist, and Michael, you're gonna play in the guests that we have coming in tonight. He's volunteered to do it, and a massive thank you. So
volunteer, co-host,
one of the two. But
This
you're
is
going
gonna
to
get interesting.
you're going to do a short strum just as we bring in our guests, just to introduce them. You know, create that vibe, and well, this is as an encore. We're taking the final bow, and we're going to be having the guys in. So we're going to bring in our first guest. So Michael, you ready?
Maybe do a sound check.
That sounds good. As you can hear, we've got the guitar. Oh, I got goosebumps already. Right, Michael, play us in short strum as we bring in our next guest. All right, bringing in our first guest. It is Essie Essays from ZRC. Essie, tell us, where did you race for the Grid Championship Season 4, fueled by MTN, brought to you by Mettlestate and RaceFace?
Well, thanks, Stephen. Thanks, gentlemen. Always nice to be here with you guys. Well, first of all, I raced in the Pro League. Came second in the Sprint Series, and I think it was 5th or something like that in the GT3 Championship. So it was an extremely nice season. I think it was my best performance so far. So looking forward to whatever the future holds. But I must say, tonight's race, that was something different.
It was a little bit different out there, and and you were piloting the Jag right to the line.
Yes.
There we go.
I'm sorry, Anneman. I tried to catch up with you. You were just...
You know, at the end of the race, that Lexus just didn't want to work with me anymore.
Yeah, I was actually quite happy with the Jag. I mean, I did low 49s most of the race, but unfortunately, I had a couple of bumps and bruises during the first few laps, which all piled up into a nice big heap of go to the pits and just get this thing fixed up. Otherwise, you will not be able to drive. So I had to end up pitting just to fix the damage, which was 31 seconds in the end. But after that settled down, I mean, ended 15th in the Jag, so it's all fine. It's all fine.
Now, Essie, do you have a few words to say to Mettlestate, RaceFace, and MTN for the championship?
Yes, I do. Actually, there are some very important things for them to take note of, and that is that, well, first of all, a big thank you to them. Creating a platform where we can have fun while having competitive racing is something, and it's unique. It's South African, and we like to support local is lekker always. So a big thank you to them for taking the time to recognizing us as a mad bunch of drivers and allowing us to do what we do and do what we love. So a big thank you to them, all the sponsors, Mettlestate, MTN, everyone. But I hope that whoever watched this stream tonight well, obviously there were a few incidents, but it is, even if you're not a driver, it's still quite a spectator sport. So I hope they realize that, and I hope they do support us in the future. And we're looking forward to a great relationship with them moving forward.
Absolutely incredible. And Essie, I know this is going to be you're out in the Air Force, and I salute you for your service. And I'm sure you're used to having a bit of a band playing you out. But Michael, can you play Essie as he exits the room? Let's give him a nice high-powered hype to say thank you very much for it.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Stephen, everyone.
Thanks, AC.
Keep well.
Absolutely incredible. Now, let's go and bring in our next guest. So, Michael, bring in our next guest. Go and give him a strum. Let's do it properly. There we go. Our next guest, Andre Serradio, joining us in the box from Project Vapor. Andre, you've never had an entrance like that before?
Yo, I've never felt so important in my life.
Absolutely incredible stuff. Andre Serradio, all right, tell us which division did you race in the Grid Championship Season 4?
Season 4. It was in the Pro division, if I'm not mistaken. And it was quite a handful.
Now, you've been part of the Grid Championship for quite some time. Back into Season 1, you were racing around. Your whole team has been here. How did you guys feel for the season?
We were optimistic. I think we were trying to just right the wrongs of the previous season and just go out there, have fun, and do the most that you can to your ability. But it was just more so ironing out the big problems that we were experiencing the previous season.
And, you know, with everything out there, it's been an amazing one. And I believe you do have a few words for our sponsors and also for everyone that's been working frantically around in the back that doesn't get too much recognition. All the team from Mettlestate, MTN jumping on board for the second time, and also for RaceFace. I believe you have a few words to say.
Yeah, I think it's just very surreal to see so many like big names just fund something like this, you know. Like especially like growing up and stuff, you'd always be like, oh, you know, Gran Turismo, you know, it's the real racing simulator, and then you move on to bigger stuff, and then you realize how big the scene is, and you're like, wait, this goes bigger. And then to kind of have like big names legitimize this hobby of ours, it is pretty surreal. It is pretty surreal.
It's absolutely incredible. And, you know, it takes all the people in the background that come in, be a part of it, the teams, the spectators, the families, the friends, you know, all the guys working behind the social media that don't get recognized, and, yeah, right down to the guys that are doing the cleaning in the buildings as well, and also just, you know, making the food and that. It takes lots of different parts to put it all together. But, Andre, thank you very much for joining us this evening. It's truly an honor to have you. And you know what? You had an entrance, so you got to have an exit. Michael, can you give us a wicked entrance? Because he's Project Vapor, so he's got to go up and smoke.
That was the wrong one, wasn't it?
That
was
works.
perfect.
That works
perfect.
just fine. Cheers, Andre. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Absolutely incredible stuff. And before I let everyone go, Janneman, your thoughts through it all. You've been here since season 1. Give us your thoughts.
Well, Stephen, I think it's absolutely awesome racing. It's an awesome series, and we all are looking forward very much to what the future will bring. It's only going to get bigger and better, and we are sitting with the fastest, or some of the fastest drivers in South Africa, duking it out tonight. I love the fact that we saw something different. The older cars back on track, and we all knew sitting there on the grid, they're not as quick as the newer cars. I mean, personally, I'm about a second and a half off the pace what I do in the newer cars, but they are just awesome fun to race with. It brings you, as I said, it takes you back to years gone by and having to adapt to a different driving style, a different brake mark. You can't brake so late anymore because they just don't stop as good as the newer stuff. And I think it was a very, very good change that we had tonight, and I think it revitalized some of the drivers and made them look even more forward to the new season that lies ahead. That's going to start in the next couple of weeks again.
Yeah, and I believe you also have your own words for Mettlestate, RaceFace, and MTN for the Grid Championship, fueled by MTN.
Absolutely. From my side, thank you very much to the sponsors. Thank you very much to Mettlestate for jumping on board and making this possible, partnering with MTN. I mean, it doesn't get bigger than that, Stephen. And again, from MTN's side, from Mettlestate's side, I want to say from my side, thank you very much for what you've been doing for sim racing, for esports in South Africa, and putting it on the map. And as I said before, I think it's just going to get bigger and better from now on.
Absolutely incredible, and echo the words to that. Thank you so much to all the staff. I've actually gone to the Mettlestate building and got to shake quite a few of the staff's hands. I'm still to meet a couple of others and say thank you very much for all the hard work, and also to our RaceFace admin stewards that have been frantic behind the scenes. They've been working incredibly hard throughout it all. The drivers, the spectators, everyone. Sure, I've got a frog in my throat talking about this, but massive thank you to you guys for opening the doors for it, for season 4, to be part of it, and to have us back on the air. To go and have us back on the air for this, to be chatting to you guys, to be part of the memories that, sharing these type of memories that will forever be cemented in history. The Grid Championship Season 4 has been an exciting one. It has been an interesting one. It has been one of those that just makes a legacy for itself, much like Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3. And who knows, the future may hold plenty more. But over to everyone at Mettlestate. Thank you so much for all the blood, sweat, tears, the hard work that you put into esports in South Africa. To RaceFace, thank you so much for the community, putting it all together, being part of it, and just bringing a family together. Yes, we have the fights. Yes, we have the ribbing. We have the laughs, the tears. We have it all. But you guys treat like families and absolutely love it. I loved the Encore race in terms of having the historics versus the new. It's absolutely amazing, and I really encourage people, go over to twitch.tv/Mettlestate, go and follow, go see all the amazing. There's brilliant casters for all the different genres of esports that are out there, where I only wish I can be on their level one day. And to everyone at RaceFace, go over and subscribe that on the RaceFace YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like icon. We're going for 1,000 subscribers. That is my personal Christmas wish to end off the year for RaceFace.Pro. Also head over to Mettlestate on YouTube. Go and see all the amazing carnage that they get over to there. But a massive thank you to you, gentlemen, for sitting in the commentary box, race after race after race, talking with me, being a part of it. I know you've sat out of racing to be part of this, and thank you so much from Mettlestate, from RaceFace. We really appreciate it, and it's brilliant to be on the air with you. To MTN, thank you so much for returning once again. It's absolutely amazing to have such a big company be a part of it and be part of the amazing action. Also, big thank you to Michael going and jumping in and being part of the exciting. Yeah, Michael, go and give us a strum. I mean, come on, you got to make it lively for yourself. You've just been introduced.
I'll try.
Come on, give it a self. There we go.
That sounds ominous.
He's the lone cowboy in it. Absolutely amazing stuff. Thank you very much, Michael.
We need to make that our theme song.
There we go. But to everyone over in the grandstands, the spectators, the families, the drivers, the teams, guys, thank you so much for being part of such a historic Encore race and seeing it right to the end. This does conclude our season 4. This is, unfortunately, our goodbye to season 4 as we close the curtain for the final time for season 4 of the Grid Championship, fueled by MTN, brought to you by Mettlestate and RaceFace. But let it be known, it might not be the last, so keep an eye on the social media. But to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, not to end on a somber note, but to make it exciting, I'd like to say thank you very much. And like always, gentlemen, we're going to say it for the final time for the Grid Championship Season 4. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody!
Good night, everyone.